Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing with you the jobs that I do in my garden in February. One of the main jobs I tend to do in February to tidy the garden up and get it ready for the spring is to trim back all of those hedges and bushes that have got a bit overgrown over the winter. I usually tidy these up, maybe trim them down by 1/3 at the max. I don't want to take them back too far. Keeping hedgerows tidy not only keeps it looking nice for your garden and aesthetically very pleasing, but it also means that it thickens up the bushes and encourages new growth. In Ireland, there is a limit to the time that you can trim your hedges and your bushes. Certainly if they're along the roadside, that cut-off point is the 1st of March. So February is really the month you want to start getting your hedges trimmed. Hedgerows are exceptionally important for biodiversity and are used by a wide range of birds and animals as shelter for food and as corridors between areas. So keeping them neat and tidy and thick and healthy is super important, and you can start doing that in February. Another thing I start to do in February is to ventilate and clean my greenhouse or polytunnel. So I have a polytunnel in my own garden. Over the winter it gets this sort of green mucky layer over the top of it. So I spend February cleaning that off, ventilating it, and just getting it generally tidy and ready for the season ahead. So cleaning pots, getting my compost ready, and preparing all the areas to be clean and tidy for when I want to start planting seeds. February is a great month to start getting in those summer bulbs, such as dahlias, echinaceas and lilies. That means that they will have a much longer growing period, and they'll start off a little bit slower with you planting them a little earlier, but as soon as it starts to get warmer, they will start to show and come up, and they will be beautiful flowers to have in the summer. Now is a great time to start preparing your beds for the spring. Now you want to try and raise the temperature of the soil here. So what I tend to do is cover the ground with a tarp, or I'll try and cover it with cardboard just to retain some of the heat from the day into the soil, bringing that soil temperature up. So seeds will be sown into it and germinate much quicker. What I also do is I cover my strawberry plants with a fleece as well to protect them from any late frosts, and also to help raise the temperature of those beds as well. I also like to put a bit of a mulch using my own compost onto any roses I have. I have one climbing rose that I like to put mulch on, and just to protect the root systems, just to help put a feed early onto that root system and really get it going into the spring. Another little job I like to do in February is to cover my rhubarb plants. Now I use a dark tub, something that doesn't let in a lot of light, which forces the rhubarb plant to grow and search for light. This means that when you take it off, the rhubarb plant will have grown exponentially and your crop from it will be much, much better if you didn't cover it. Now, these are often called forcing jars. You often see them in lovely Victorian gardens with huge terracotta pots, but just anything that doesn't let a lot of light in will do the same job. This month is also a great time to tidy up any of those house plants that you have as well. So repotting, like potting up any plants that have become a bit pot bound, cleaning leaves, removing any dead leaves, and just preparing to give them a feed at the beginning of March as well. Now, we don't want to rush ahead getting too many seeds in too early. It's still quite cold out, and if you put your seeds in too early, they'll be starved of that sunlight, they'll be starved of that heat, and they won't be as strong if you just hold off and be patient for a few more weeks. If you really can't wait to start sowing some seeds in February, you really need to choose some hardy seeds. Things like aubergines, shallots, leeks, Beetroots are really good, beans and cauliflowers, and some hardy salad varieties as well. You could also get away with starting peppers and tomatoes, but you want to keep these indoors under a heated propagator. And you could always plant some hardy flower seeds, such as cosmos, snapdragons and nasturtiums, to get those early flowering plants in. So February really is a month for preparation. It's preparing your garden for the very busy spring season once it gets going and the temperatures start to rise. So just to summarise, the first job in February is to trim those hedges. The second job would be to tidy the polytunnel ready for the spring planting. Third job would be to order and plant some summer bulbs. Fourth job would be to prep your outdoor spaces. Fifth job would be houseplant maintenance and tidying. And the sixth point would be to plant seeds if you really must. I hope these tips have helped, and I hope that you have learned something from this video today and use it in your own garden. Thanks so much for coming by, and I hope to see you again next time. Thanks.